Hello, my name is Miranda H.P.
And I'm Connor Calloway.
And we are the Bountiful Bards.
Please join us in our first ever recorded D&D campaign,
The Fountains of Cathaidra.
Over the next hour or so, the goblins begin to clean up what has happened. They take their dead, wrap them, clean them, set them to be dealt with later. However, these Radians deal with their dead. The chief wakes up, bit of a bump on her head, but is overall very grateful for you helping and the aid that you have provided. Not only do you bring help and aid in fighting and stopping this revolt from occurring, but also you bring hope that perhaps somewhere up above there is a place that they can go. Food is being provided on the top floor, where you, your brother Jimothy, Eckler, and Chief Knock, are all sitting around a table. It's a table raised about maybe a foot off the ground, and you're all sitting on the floor on some cushions, as they have brought you some cooked meats and some glowing orange vegetables.
We're going to have to be speaking mostly with hand signals at this point, because I don't have any more spell slots.
Well, we found out that it was a ritual for you to cast that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right, and you can recast it as you do so.
Sure.
Jimothy actually tries the meat. He does not sniff at it or anything. He digs right into it, and also the fungus that has been glowing down here and providing a lot of light. It is a cooked vegetable kind of substance.
Look, man, mushrooms are mushrooms.
Do you partake?
Absolutely. It's a mushroom.
All right. While you're eating, the chief just continues to reiterate how thankful she is that you and your brother were willing to come down and help and do the things you did. And as you're just settling in and you've been doctored up, bandaged up and everything, Eckler wants to put his hand on the table and he goes, I'm sorry, Lia, but I'm having a lot of trouble accepting that we are a millennia into the future. The last thing we remember was that there's these great earthquakes. It's a terrible, terrible storm. The sky was so black. And then there was a shrieking noise. It was like the planet itself was crying out in pain. And then we all woke up down here in this cavern with the rest of the city gone, and it's just our district. Does any of that sound familiar?
No, not at all. Like I said, we've read about it.
Read about it?
Yeah, in our history books and our stories. Like, we read about this thing called the Shrieking, which sounds a lot like you described, and it was where magic broke the world.
Magic broke the world?
That's what we've always been taught.
I have no idea. Okay. So, and you're saying, so as a teacher, this isn't as hard to believe. So what you're saying is there's an event. Well, what I experienced would definitely be remembered. So if we're talking about the same thing and it was so long ago, then yes, I guess we are in the future then, sister. And Chief Knot goes, that is indeed very troubling. And there's Radian's not up there? Radian was our city. It was a great pillar, just larger than you could ever understand. The fact that something so large could be built, it was a magnificent feat of magic and ingenuity and craftsmanship in itself. It was a city of wonders where we lived on tiers and you could see it for miles and miles from here, and it glowed in the sun like a beacon and to move forward to. None of that rings a bell.
No.
The mountains. Are there mountains above?
Yeah.
Fascinating. I need to get up there. All right. I'm sorry, this is just a lot for me. I hope you understand.
It might make you feel better to think more of it as a time resetting than, the future, because, I don't know, I guess if I thought about the future, I'd imagine things having moved forward where everything I've read about the shrieking and everything being broken seems like things restarted more than anything, especially because, now that we don't have magic like that anymore, or at least the church says we don't. I don't know. The fact that I can do magic makes me a little suspicious of it, but might make it easier to think of it as a reset.
This church.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do at this church?
Help others, mostly.
Okay. The chief goes, we can't live down here anymore. What do you think we should do? You come from the society up above, and I'm worried that they'd be accepting of me and my people. You have goblins up there?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, there's even a goblin family, or a couple of them actually, that live in our town.
Well, that makes me feel a lot better. How about language? Does anybody even speak our language? And Eckler goes, from what I can hear from her when the magic's not in effect, their language is our language, just it's evolved. We could probably learn it. It would just take some time. It's not that much different. Radiant's not far from whatever common language they have. Is there by any chance, do y'all have anything up there that we could have that maybe can help? We can help. I mean, should we talk to these others up there, or should we just run and hide somewhere?
Well, I think that it might be best to feel things out, send one person who is really good at talking to others up there with us, and we can talk to my dad. My dad will know what to do. And if he doesn't, my mom certainly will.
Eklar goes, I can go. I think that would be best. I'll go. We'll go together, and then I'll come back for you in the morning, sister. Just have everybody be prepared and ready. Take care of our lost and fallen, and we'll figure out what we need to do up there. Does that sound fine?
Sounds right to me.
Okay. Well, let's finish our meal and then let's get back up there then.
Y'all don't look much different than the goblins that we have. You dress funny.
Well, our clothes are old. We haven't been able to make any new textiles. We're down here.
You don't look any different than the goblins that we have, so not really anyway. So when it comes to physiology, at least, you won't stand out, and my dad is very compassionate. My mom is very logical. You will find a good audience in them, I suspect.
Jimothy goes, Yeah. Leah, can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, dear.
Hey, okay, so we're going to tell Mom and Dad what we've been doing down here?
Sort of. We can tell them we found this place.
Okay.
Because, we would have got to the bottom of the whole, random goblins from nowhere attacking thing, which it's kind of important to get the story straight before that starts to get crazy.
That's what I'm kind of afraid of. As you two have, by the way, kind of moved away a little bit. I'm afraid they might jump the gun and try and hurt these people.
Well, that's why we're going to talk to Mom and Dad first.
Okay.
Because they'll know what to do. And I don't think that they would let that happen. And if their recommendation is that we help them hide, then we'll do that. If they're able to go to the church and talk to them about it, well, the church likes to go on about how it's a sanctuary for all. This is their chance to put their money where their mouth is.
All right, I'm on board with this. Okay. Is there anything you would like to do down here further before you and your brother make your way back up?
I don't think so. I think Leah's a bit worn out from loss of blood and the fact that she fired off a bunch of spells in a row and has not done that ever. I think that she's ready to go home and kind of be someplace that she knows is safe.
You do feel exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've been tired and you've been exhausted before, but this is different. You subconsciously try and reach out to whatever that thread was you were connected to during battle that just made everything just feel so much more alive, and it's It's not really there. I mean, it's there, but when you look for it, it's gone. It's not disconcerting. You felt a little bit of this, but never to this extent if you felt this way. So, you and your brother make your way back up to the top with Eklar. And he says, as you get closer to the village, go past the town, wave at Miss Nancy. Eklar says that it would probably be best for him to wait near the wood line until you go and speak with your father or your mother to determine what needs to happen next. So, it is now, I believe since y'all left in the morning, you've been down there for probably about 4 or 5 hours. It is now about midday, maybe a little bit later. What would you like to do?
Well, first thing is we probably want to go home and get changed and cleaned up a little bit because we probably look a hot mess. And then need to find one of our distinguished parents.
All right.
Whomever is nearby.
All right. You usually do that. You both get home. You avoid as many people as you can. They have to really look close at you to really see that you're messed up. You get home, change your clothes. You have about 5 pairs each. You change your clothes. You save the other ones to be cleaned and mended later. Get dressed. Get you something to drink, maybe a quick bite to eat before you go to find your family. Now, you know your mother is going to be at the area where she keeps all her books and research and stuff, or your father will probably be at the church. Which way would you like to go?
Which one is most likely to have less people in it right now?
Your mother.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
It's literally her.
Let's grab an extra robe for Eklar so he doesn't look quite as anachronistic.
Okay.
And shuffle off that way.
Do you go get Eklar, or are you just going to go to your mom first?
Well, we're going to give him a robe and stuff so he can, kind of peruse the area.
No. Okay. Jimothy has a robe that he can put on, no problem. Puts it on. He kind of looks like a small child up underneath it. It's really big on him, but he kind of hooks it up and ties it into like a nice little knot. And he goes, "How'd I look?"
Less old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned. That's a lot better than, destitute.
Yeah, but the church can't blame you for that either. That's in one of their precepts.
What do you do? So these church, I'll figure it out. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Especially if you learn our language, there's all kinds of history and stuff for you to have a look-see at. So we're going to go find Mom and talk to her first. And if she wants to meet you, we'll grab you.
You find your mother when you walk inside. She's over her pile of books. Looks like she's doing a little bit of research as you step in. And she looks up and sees you. She goes, "How's your day so far? Where have you two been?"
Hi, Mom.
Hey.
You busy?
Yes, but it can wait. What's going on?
Cool. We have a story to tell you.
So what do you tell her?
Well, pretty much what we said. We found out who had attacked the family, and basically we just give her kind of like an abridged version of we found out there are 2 political struggles and that things, whatever. We're just going to give her kind of like a quick overview of finding the city down there in the first place. The fact that this would be super cool for her research because obviously there's some weird time thing happening where they think it's only been 10 years. And look, Mom, you have a chance to see some really cool ancient architecture that doesn't exist anymore and isn't in your books. Yeah, you like that? Okay. And there's the geopolitical struggle, which you also like because it's also in books. You love books. You love things in books.
She holds up her finger. And first she didn't believe you. She thought it was just a joke. But Jimothy can't tell a lie to his parents to save his life. So the fact that he is being absolutely serious and just unwavering in this is what makes her face go from first off thinking her children are messing with her to a little bit of a surprise to a deep concern. And as you're talking, she cuts you off and goes, "Have you told your father about this?"
Not yet.
Don't.
Okay. Why?
How many of these people are down there?
Quite a few.
You're my daughter. Give me a rough estimate. Number.
I don't know.
12?
More than that.
30?
More than that.
50?
Thereabouts. Between that and 100. I mean, they're people. They got trapped down there. It's not their fault. As far as they knew, they were trapped down there for 10 years.
I understand that. And they're still down there now?
Yes. Well, I mean, we did bring one back with us to talk to you.
Where is he?
Outside, hiding. We gave him a robe, so he looks like the other goblins.
Please get him inside. Just tell him, yes, he can come on in.
Okay. So...
Jimothy goes and gets him. He leaves, so it's going to take probably about 3 or 4 minutes before he can get back with Eckler.
So there might be a, language barrier? A little bit?
Then how did you communicate with him?
Well, I mean, you read the same books I did. There's a lot of research that talks about older languages, and it seems pretty similar. It just, slightly different inflections. A little bit,
Not a problem. Not a problem. But they come back inside. This is Eckler.
I make very significant eye motions at him with my back to my mother.
Your mother turns and says a word. And Eckler replies with a word. And then your mother replies with a few more, and then vice versa. So it seems your mother apparently can speak Radian.
Lia is completely unsurprised.
Jimothy, on the other hand, is like, what is going on?
Yeah, Jimothy, tried to tell you.
They converse a little bit. Well, Lia, as tomorrow your mother says, this is very fascinating. We can't tell your father. He's a good man. He'll want to do everything for these people. What is probably best for them is that we find them a safe place to go, into they can acclimate, not be strange, learn our language. I think that's possible. With Mr. Ecklar here, he says that they wouldn't mind staying down there a little bit longer until they can learn our language, and we can get them acclimated into society.
And we can get them some supplies at least.
That will not be a problem at all. I can get all that together. And then once they're ready, I will speak to your father about this. And we will get them where they need to be.
Just think of the information down there.
I'm very much aware of that.
It's going to be fascinating.
It may be. But it can be very dangerous in inquiring such things.
Why? They didn't hurt us.
True.
You're not afraid of them, are you?
No, I'm not in the slightest. This is what we're going to do. So I'll speak with him a little bit longer. We'll get some information together. We'll get things ready. And you and your brother, if you don't mind going home, it's about getting late. I will meet you there. Please tell your father I'll be a little late. Jimothy, it's best if you probably don't go home for a little bit, or go straight to bed so you don't have to talk to your dad. Jimothy's like, wait, I'm missing something here. What's going on? This seems, why aren't we telling Dad? I don't get why we're not telling Dad. And she goes, because I said so, son.
She used the mom voice, Jimothy.
You let me tell your father.
Do as you're told, Jimothy. She won't kick your butt.
You don't tell me what to do, he says at you. Both of you go. You've done wonderful. I'm very proud of both of you. Go.
Okay, thanks, Mom. Let's go, Jimothy.
Eckler will stay here. I'll prepare him a room. And Eckler looks up at your mother and then at you. A little concerned, but not too much.
I'll give him a thumbs up.
He gives you a thumbs up back.
A big grin. Pretty universal with that.
He also shows a big grin, but there's still concern. So it's definitely broken. From the nose up, he's like concerned, and then from there down, he has the grin on. So
I'll wink at him, and I'm gonna yank Jimothy out the door.
And then so you go.
Look, Jimothy, come on.
I'm coming. I'm going. I want to get something to eat and go home and go to bed.
Okay. So, as we're walking back, I want to kind of just, discuss with him super quietly. We're taking our, evade everybody route that all kids find.
Sure.
The ones where they sneak out. Not that you would know anything about that, of course.
No, I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, technically, I think I would be the one who doesn't because, whatever.
Anyways.
But anyway, so, just kind of say, I think that there is a lot more to Mom than we ever really thought. And I think that this is something we should trust her on. Because if Mom is saying don't tell the church because she's not afraid of the goblins, she's afraid of the church, I think the questions I've been having, I think Mom has those questions too.
That is preposterous. Did I use that word right?
Jimothy, I want you to think about it for
I need
more
to know
than
if
3
I
seconds.
used that word right or not.
You did use it correctly. You're wrong.
Okay.
But you used it correctly.
Well, I can speak big words too, just so you and Mom know.
Yes, we're very proud of you.
I don't feel proud of. All right, it's not a problem. I'm gonna let y'all deal with it.
Good.
It's way over my head. I'm too dumb to follow.
You're not. You just have a specialty, and that is whacking and thwacking.
Whacking and thwacking.
Yes, and attempting to become a colander in return. Not really super good look for you. I'm telling you, though. Scars. Scars.
You go home. You both wash up again and get some rest.
After we stuff our faces.
Right.
Kind of did a cursory, "Hi, Dad. Super tired, Dad. Bye, Dad."
Leah, while you're asleep, you wake up
So I'm not asleep.
in a cold sweat. You go from completely oblivious to the world to very much aware. Your heart is racing. Your anxiety is high. Your breath is short. And you're shaking. Something's happening. You throw off your covers real quick, and you start looking around the room to try and see what's going on. Did you have a nightmare? No. Then what is it? What's going on? Is there a fire? No. Nothing's alarmed. Nothing's wrong in the room. You actually hear a soft little owl hooting outside as the moonlight comes in. But that feeling you had when you were fighting, the feeling you had when you were just using your abilities, it's back. And it's calming down now that you're awake. And you search and you reach out subconsciously again, and you feel that source of power, whatever it is there. But you can sense it just a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little more of an understanding. After about 30 minutes of calming yourself down, you go back to bed and wake up the next morning. The day is yours.
Congratulations, in this world, when you level up, you have panic attacks.
That's a little meta, but yes, you did level up.
Well, I ain't dumb. What you think I am, dumb or something?
Kids, breakfast is ready.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm hungry.
Jimothy, door opens, it's just like wham! And he's standing there kind of looking haggard. And he's looking up and he is like, I had a really weird dream.
Let's talk about it later. Stuff your face now. I had one too. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Only put food in your face. Don't say anything.
As you go downstairs, you've seen that they've made you a couple of eggs. Some bacon has been made. Very Howl's Moving Castle breakfast that's been prepared for you by your father. And he's like, hey, kids. Good morning.
Morning, Dad.
What are y'all plans today? Your mother's, I think... Well, let me just cancel that. I'm sorry I said this wrong. I'm not very good at lying. Your mother wants your help today.
That's fine.
I'm sorry. I figured you might want to go, like, swimming or something like that. But she needs you for something.
Yeah, that's all right. I had an interesting thought about this one book I read that, well, it was actually talking about this ancient substructure theory that we understand about things.
Yeah, what's wrong with Jimothy? Why is he looking like pale?
He didn't eat very much yesterday, even though I told him to. And he won't admit this to you, Dad, but I'm going to tell you because it's really funny. Is I told him he needed to eat. He told me, don't tell me what to do. And he passed out.
Yeah, passed out, Dad.
It was really funny. He went just head over ankles, just flat out. Yeah, he did drink some water after that, but it was super funny. You should have seen it.
All right. Well, y'all have a good day. I got to head off to the church and get some hymns prepared for I have to get some hymns prepared for the session we're going to be having later on this week. So y'all be good. Let me know if you need anything.
Some more string wax, please?
Not a problem at all. I'll get some.
Thanks, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day. We appreciate it. Thanks for breakfast.
Yeah, bye, loves. And then he kisses you on the forehead and then leaves. Very free-spirited, your father.
Yep, and before Jimothy can say anything, I shove some bread in his face.
Okay, he takes the bread and throws it down. He goes, I'm not a child.
No, but you're a terrible liar, Jimothy.
I think I'm having, problems. Last night I almost had a heart attack, I think.
Well, I think that we actually used what we're capable of doing
Maybe
to an extent.
I don't need you. I don't need you thinking. Let's. Maybe Eklar will know. Maybe he knows.
Probably. He said he was a teacher.
Wait, it happened to you?
Hmm? Well, if you let me finish saying what I was gonna say, I think we finally used our abilities that we're supposed to be using.
I don't have any abilities
Yes, you
like you.
do.
No, I don't.
Well, you think my abilities are the only ones out there?
Let's go ask him.
Exactly.
So
But we're gonna eat first.
I'm
hungry.
You're done eating. It's done. It's been over. You've already ate. I said you ate. So.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't argue and eat very well.
The two of you, everybody always says, Connor, Miranda, you write too much about eating in your books. Well, we can't really help ourselves.
I love food.
And so
is
do
the
I.
reason I exist.
You two make your way to your mother's. We haven't really labeled exactly what it is. It's a library / research center
Solarium.
/ yes, something like that.
I like the name Solarium, even though it's not really what it is. I like the name of it, so let's call it a solarium.
You have a key and you go inside, and your mother isn't there yet, but Eklar is, and he's already up and sitting on a chair, paging through a language book, and he has a map open out in front of him as well.
Hi, Ackler.
Oh,
How goes the communication?
cat is brown.
Some are, yes. Excellent.
Yes. Eggs?
We had some.
Chicken?
Correct.
Magic.
Okay.
So you cast
Yes.
comprehend languages? Okay.
As a ritual, so I can use it again.
All right. Welcome back. Oh, great. I can talk normal again. Your mother is actually she's quite endearing. I love your mother. She is very intelligent. Extremely.
Yeah.
She said she's going to go get supplies this morning when she came and met me, so I hope everything went well. Hope you are doing okay.
Pretty sure if Mom wanted something to happen, it definitely did.
How'd y'all sleep? This cot here wasn't, and he kind of kicks the cot. This cot here wasn't the best, but it beats glowing mushroom.
So there is something we wanted to ask you about. Both of us had a really weird sort of like panic dream.
We had a heart
last
attack.
night.
I almost died.
He's a little dramatic.
Little dramatic. You know how old I am?
Yes.
I shouldn't be having heart attacks. This is too much stress for me.
He's rapidly aging before our eyes, Eckler. Look at him. Tomorrow he's not going to be able to walk without a cane. We'll just have to put him under for his own good.
Easy, you two. So he has it too.
Has what?
Has what? He's magical. I'm not magical. What are you talking about?
Haha. You're in it as much as me, buddy.
In Radian, people who are blessed... Magic was a very secretive understanding. They kept it under lock and key. But what I can gain from it is that some individuals have a connection, or a stronger connection to magic than the rest of the individuals around them. I'm sorry, like I said, I have no idea how this works, the science behind it. But in Radian, there are these individuals who could wield magic. And magic isn't just shooting fire from your hand or creating water or lightning.
Although those are pretty cool things.
Can you create lightning?
If I tried, maybe.
Have you ever tried? Let's not try. What I'm trying to say is, for us, magic was more than just what you could create out of thin air. It was also what you could do with yourself. And we had a term for it. Actually, we have two terms. But just sit down, please sit down. And he goes and actually tries to pull the human-sized chairs over behind both of you. And then he grabs one of the third chair, and then he stands up on it as he sits you both down like pupils. Mm-hmm. And he goes, "I'm sorry, it's been a minute." He kind of straightens his robe.
Leah pulls out a little notebook.
Actually, he's not wearing a robe anymore. He actually has goblin clothes that look good and well tailored and well made. He goes, "These were given to me by your mother."
Are you surprised?
No. Mm-hmm. With my people, we had two individuals. People with power tend to use power for good, or not so good. Bad.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They were called those who were heroic. and those who were malevolent.
That's a long name.
That's what we called them. I'm sorry. That was the term that we used, and we praised our heroes. They protected Radian. They were mighty people. They could do great, wonderful things, unbelievable things, but they protected us against those that wished to do us harm, the other side of that coin. They would come to the temples, and we would greet our heroes and speak to them and praise them and bring them offerings and, worship them.
So were any of your goblin people like this?
Oh, yeah. Yes, but they had all... In Radian, the way the society worked, the more powerful you were, the more higher you could ascend on the tiers.
Makes sense. Most
of us common people, which was fine, were on the lower tiers, the first several that there were, and there was a lot of us. And then those that were more powerful could, they had access to the higher sittings. And then when the shrieking happened, our heroes wasn't with us.
So, well, I don't think that things have changed as much as you think they have, because I feel like the church is essentially doing the same thing. Because anytime somebody has any kind of what their version of magic is, they take them and they disappear with them. So they don't stay around. But what it also sounds to me is almost like, and of course I don't really know much about the Shrieking beyond what we're taught and stuff, but that's one of my goals, is I want to find out more about it. So I bet if we go back to where you said this big old tower was, there might be some ruins there that we could spelunk through and figure some stuff out, if they haven't recovered anything.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of groundwork that that wouldn't be very good. Anyways,
but my whole point was, it sounds almost like there was like a magical genocide kind of.
I know this much. I don't know about any of what that occurred. Please, you're gonna make me. Let me just focus, please. All I know about magic users, heroes, or the others, there were stages. There were levels to their abilities that they would increase to the next stage. You two may have gone through that. And Jimothy, he points at Jimothy, who has not heard any of this, by the way. I'm sure you've been translating. Please tell him that his kind of magic is a lot more subtle than your kind.
He says you're not as flashy as me.
I don't want to be as flashy. I just want to learn how to be a good soldier and join the Lance.
I suspect that's a low bar considering what we just found out.
We'll see. The door opens. Oh, wonderful. You're both here.
Hi, Mom.
Hey. All right. So I've given Mr. Eklar here a book to start learning our language and everything. Rest assured that everything is going to be okay. We're going to find them a place to go. We're going to be able to reintroduce them into society. I've already started working on all that now. Have food prepared to go down there for them. I'm sure there's plenty of this down there that's been malnourished.
You really are a wonder, Mom.
I try. You think your father puts all this together by himself? No. No, he doesn't concentrate on one thing for very long.
No, I think if you did not have set meal times, Dad would forget to eat. He has.
That's absolutely true. How are you two?
It's been a lot, Mom. There's a lot of questions I'm having about things, questions that I suspect if I ask them will get me in trouble.
Questions only get you in trouble for those afraid of the answers.
And what are you, Mom? Are you afraid of the answers?
No, I've just learned how to find them without ever asking the question.
That is a unique skill set.
Jimothy, why don't you go work with the rest of the soldiers today, the guard. They were looking for you yesterday, and they're looking for you again today. Jimothy goes, I really could use a workout. I'm going to do that. I need to work through some stuff. So Jimothy goes, I'll see you later. Lunch, maybe?
Yeah.
All right. See you then.
All right. Be careful.
So after that, your mother watches him go and turns back to you. You have to be careful.
I know, Mom. I'm trying to find out. Like I said, Mom, I got a lot of questions, and I need you to understand that if you think that I'm not telling you everything, it's not because I don't trust you. It's because I don't want you to get in trouble.
She holds up her hand. I understand. I don't like lying to my husband or keeping things from him. You did a great and wonderful thing with these people. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Mom.
It's not a problem. So over the next couple of weeks, you can help me here. Let's get to work. Let's see what we can do and how we can help these people. And then after that, I think it's time for you and I to have a little talk about your future. I know.
I'm not marrying that boy, Mom.
I don't have anybody for you to marry.
Okay,
that was
good.
literally the church asking your father. He brought it up, and I told him that was absolutely... What's the word I'm looking for? Throw a word out there for me. How you feel about it?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, not's always a good word.
Disinterested.
Disinterested is even better.
Repulsed.
That's even more so.
Offended.
Offended is probably a bit too far.
Not for me.
Not for me either. Anyways, we don't do arranged marriages. It's just a boy that took a liking to you. Don't worry about that.
And boys are gross, Mom.
So let's have a sit down and have a chat here with Mr. Eklar and see just what we can do.
All right.
And so you do. You and your mother get to work, hashing out a plan, seeing what's the best route. And that is how you spend the rest of your day. Congratulations, Miranda. You are now level 2 Bard. We'll have to level you up. But this will be a good stopping point for now.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.